Welcome to Rocket League Central. My name's Erica Marecki, and the man next to me doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm gonna give him one anyway. We have Brody LeafX Moore here.
Hey, I'm glad you did because sometimes I forget who I am in my old age. But if you like soccer, this is the place to be. We're gonna get you caught up on the pro scene in Grid Watch. We got some fire plays in Hotshots, and we have a special guest waiting on the line just down the road, so stay tuned for that.
But before we get into the meat of the show, any tips and tricks for sort of a relatively new Rocket League player such as myself?
Yeah, right off the bat, pay close attention. Make sure to always blame your teammates. They're all terrible. It's never your fault. No,
Fantastic.
don't do that. That's the wrong foot to start on. For sure, though, get into your camera settings. Turn off camera shake. If you're a new player, free to play just went out. We know there's a lot of you out there. Turn off camera shake. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. And there's some camera settings and controls we can probably do to help you out, but I'll deal with that later.
After the show.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now that I have some tips and tricks from a pro, let's move on to see how the other pros do it with Grid Watch.
The RLCS saw a lot of changes this season, so let's get you up to speed. Tensions were high as the Season X Fall Split Majors came to a close following 3 consecutive regional grand finals. True Neutral had the honor of drawing first blood, triumphing over 11's esports in the South American Major. The team, composed of Argentina's AJG and Shad and the Chilean Rays Bowl, made history as the first non-Brazilian team to win a regional. It was a tight back-and-forth set with multiple games coming down to the wire, but in the end, True Neutral took the best of 7 in a decisive 4-2 victory.
The fake, the flip risen, the everything. This guy is nuts. He was able to pull down there with that one. And look at that. Oh, that was a beautiful, beautiful goal.
The European finals featured Team BDS continue its season-long dominance by blazing through the upper bracket and defeating Renault Vitality with a 4-2 scoreline. Their true test of skill came in the semifinals, however, with Galaxy Racer putting in an excellent showing. BDS barely edged it out 4-3 after a 5-minute-long 0-0 overtime. But for a moment, it looked as though the underdogs could have clinched it.
Wall Matane with a miss. Here's marked by 8. Is that the miss that secures it? Marked by 8 off the crossbar. Monkey Moon to finish it. BDS.
Meanwhile, the North American split saw Space Station Gaming take out NRG in a 4-2 victory. SSG and NRG were the expected finalists, having won the first and second regional events of the fall split. But SSG player Reddles was disappointed that they couldn't turn their victory into a total blowout. Citing the team's overconfidence for the reason why they let NRG take 2 games, Reddles promised that SSG is destined to become the best team in the world. Only time will tell if the rising superstar can make good on that promise as we head into the winter split and eventually the World Championship.
Oh, Reynolds perfectly touched, perfectly scored, wonderfully done.
Speaking of the winter split, details were finally announced for the upcoming event via a new trailer. The first winter regional will commence on November 7th, with games lasting all the way until January of 2021. The trailer also detailed a new match format for the RLCS. The tournament will be moving from a Swiss system to a double elimination bracket, meaning competition will be fiercer as each team are awarded fewer mistakes. Some pro players are wary of this change, stating that the old format guaranteed everyone got to play at least 3 matches regardless of performance. The new bracket brings with it the potential for a team to flunk out if seeded with 2 powerful opponents back-to-back, which they argue could impact the integrity of the split. Whether this change will have a positive or negative impact is up in the air, but you won't have to wait long to see. Tune in for the first match of the winter split this Saturday.
So Brody,
What?
correct me if I'm wrong here.
I will.
Perfect. Going into the major, wasn't NRG expected to come out on top?
Yes, they were. Well, so was SSG, but NRG on that day looked really, really good. So the fact that they got to SSG and couldn't deliver still, not too unsurprising, but at the same time, they looked good, but not out of the picture that SSG won.
So we saw a lot of storylines play out, but were there any surprises, anything we overlooked?
You know what? I just head back to that Galaxy Racer story, and Arju was, a sub for Team Liquid back in the day. They didn't take him on after a great performance subbing in, and the fact that he's got a team together and got this far, I like to see that. That's a good story.
Now let's talk Reddles.
Yeah,
Do you think he overlooked competition, a little bit overconfident, or how?
Both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. This man knows how to trash talk. The thing is, he will always back it up. If he can't back it up, he goes silent, radio silence from him, and he only comes back when he knows he can. So the fact that he's confident about overlooking his opponents, well, I'm inclined to believe that he's in a good spot to keep winning.
So I'd love to talk a little bit more about that, but we should move on to your interview with our special guest. So let's head over to that.
The Rocket League Championship Series Season X has brought with it a lot of changes. Everything you know is just out the window. So, to break down those changes and talk about their season, McLando, the coach of Pittsburgh Knights, is joining me on the line. What's up, man? It's been a
what's
while.
up? It's been some crazy times lately.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you know what? I like your hat there. I think I'm gonna join you on this one.
Hey, look at look at him go.
I don't know how I look with a hat here, but
Hey, we'll take it.
it doesn't
It's
quite
spreading.
fit.
Let's go.
But there we go. I got a sticker and everything too.
Oh, yeah, yours is fresher than mine even.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the season, McLando, just in general. Obviously, we went from like 2-month league plays into this 3-split year-long format where there's 3 regionals per split, 1 major per split, and teams are trying to collect points. It's a circuit system now. It's completely changed. What are your thoughts just in general on this format? Just you as an individual.
Well, we're seeing like a new factor almost with this new format that's labeled as fatigue. There's a lot of players that thought they wanted to play like every single day, and they're kind of like, oh man, this is every single day now. But I love it. You know, if you are motivated to play, you are rewarded because you get this opportunity almost like every week. It's insane.
I think overall, it like everyone's like, yeah, more Rocket League, and then it started to hit. Even fans started to feel it. I think they're like, okay, maybe I'll just watch like the finals of each regional. Maybe I'll just watch the major. And you add in the grid to that mix. It just made things so intense. So from the players' perspective, obviously you talk to your players. How have they been experiencing it with the grid? Because obviously the Knights have been playing in the grid and in the RLCS. Did they find it actually overload them, or is this just perfect for them?
See, I feel like, you know, most players are in a spot where they're, you know, around high school age, you know, in a spot where they still have families that, you know, want to talk to them every now and then. They just, yeah, it's been a lot. We'll say that it's been a lot, but you know, I think it's finally getting to a point where they're kind of understanding it's like a sports season. You know, you have a very grindy part of the process, but then you have some time off. We're kind of in that period right now where, you know, I'm able to say, yeah, go take an evening with your family. That's totally fine. Like, you know, we'll be ready when the time comes.
I think teams now understand that complacency will knock you off the charts. We've seen a lot of teams step up to the bat. Pittsburgh Knights is one of them. Obviously, the Valence roster was picked up early on by Pittsburgh Knights after dropping their other roster. And that team started off kind of fresh, right? Like these boys were fresh. They're getting into the mix. You know, Lethamir and I were casting you guys during the grid, and he said it from the very beginning that this team has a lot of potential, and it showed really quick. How did you guys show that much success so quickly? Like, I feel like week after week, you guys were just making magnitudes of performance increase.
It was the workload. I mean, you have a lot of hungry guys that are all technically rookies coming up. I mean, I'm telling them, like, this is your shot. This is literally you going against the best. You've never had this opportunity before. I mean, you need to take advantage of this. Before, the system was you have to make it through RLRS to even get a shot, to even try, to even attempt to go against these top teams. And now I'm telling you can just do it. Yeah, that's motivating. You know, I really want to take it and make sure that we do well. A lot of teams, I feel like, don't feel like they have a good chance against top teams, and that kind of shoots them in the foot. I want to take these opportunities and do the best I can with them.
Obviously, you guys just made a big roster move here. Can you talk to me about the decisions that went into this roster move, why it happened? Because obviously you guys were showing promise, but clearly you said it yourself too. I believe that a lot of thought went into this move.
Yes, and we sat on this decision for a bit. It wasn't an easy one, obviously. I mean, we exceeded a lot of expectations, but for personal expectations, I saw us going a route that I wasn't satisfied with. And the team agreed, and I think on all fronts, there was nothing sinister, malicious about it. It was all just, you know, we sat together as an entire group, all of us, and figured out what would be best for everybody. And, you know, fortunately, this isn't really a family. It's somewhat of a business as well that we all wanted to do as best as possible together. And that meant we had to make a change.
So obviously, just for people that were unaware, it's Kinsey off and Sosa on now. Sosa has been in the scene for quite some time. I want you to talk to me specifically about what Sosa is going to bring to this roster.
Oh yeah, man.
Okay, you got some words here.
Yeah, we had tryouts with Sosa, and man, he brings an energy and a motivation that I personally find just to be so infectious. I feel so happy showing up to scrims knowing that he's just gonna give it his all because it's fun. I love it. I mean, I know he's gonna want to improve. If we don't do well, we can get better, and if we do well, we celebrate. It's the best of both worlds. I love it. And on top of that, with half a year plus of games coming up, I just feel like he's just gonna get better. And what I saw was already really promising.
Tell me where can people find you? They want McLando in their life. Where can they find McLando?
For me, well, I stream on Twitch pretty much every single night. It's kind of where I just reside most of my times. But as far as the nights go, we're getting ready for the grid in 2 weeks. So please support the nights. We would love to see you out on the channels for the grid. A lot of Rocket League to be played and a lot to watch. So if you support us, that would make me happy at least.
And that's all you should do in life. Your goal should be to just make McLando happy. McLando,
yeah, make me happy. I'll be smiling in my chair. That is a good sight.
Thank you so much for joining me, man.
With the pass for Kaio. Kaio couldn't get to it. AJG comes for it, looking for the backboard second dot! And AJG puts the third goal.
I have seen this so many times from AJG, but I still get impressed every single time he does it.
Crosses into the orange now. Here comes Galaxy Racer looking for the third goal. Eekso with the helicopter. No way. 3-0 Galaxy Racer.
Eekso showing off those 1v1 skills. Arju taps it over the top. He fakes high, goes low, and then the dunk on Monkey Moon.
Are we going to overtime?
We have to. Unless maybe endpoint in the last second.
Oh,
it's still
dangerous.
up.
Archie's got to make the
don't
play.
do it. Don't do it. Don't do
my
it.
Goodness! You can't make this up!
What is happening? Look at this shot from Virtuoso, the angle. Buzzer beater. This is the craziest game I think we've ever seen in a while.
And right now, Space Station. Oh, how about Arsenal?
Oh, this is so good. Watch him take this to the air. He gets the flip reset early, up against J-Rush, uses it late, and
Real nice touch there from Devo. Alpha actually gonna reach that ball. Vitality in 3 touches. One, two, and that's a goal. Alpha, that you can't even save that.
He might be able to make something happen all on his own.
Oh, Reynolds perfectly touched, perfectly scored. Wonderfully done.
And push this ball towards Miss with a double, turned away by Percy, and somehow that ball stays out of the net, and the scoreline remains within 1.
Galaxy Racer can't let themselves fall. Matane here, chance for a double. Triple in fact, and he gets it.
Matane takes the team on his back. Double commits be damned. He'll chase this down off the ceiling. Oh my goodness.
Slowly look to starve out. As long as that one booming clear cannot happen for Reno Vitality, they'll continue to hook across Monkey Moon. Top corner, and it's in. They waited, and then Monkey Moon strikes. Just gonna have to get in the middle of those. So maybe one more, as that is the crossbar, and the follow-up from Wonder Mike is good enough. He's got the brace, and he might be sending us to overtime.
Wow. Wonder Mike, the one-man mission. That is an unbelievable goal.
Well, that's a perfect little package of everything I won't ever be able to do, but something that I can do is memes, and I can do it good, and that's exactly what we got for you.
Settle down.
Yeah.
First up on the Breakout, Reddit user Invisible Ink Doodles came out with a new goal explosion.
Yo, okay, this is sick. I mean, there's some sick goal explosions. They let you express your personality, right? You can just get it like, hey, I like fish to fly around. Hey, I want a Reaper to dab on you. You can do it. This lets you get out your passive toxicity. Usually,
just rub it in a little.
Yeah, usually you gotta put a little work in. You gotta go to your quick chat, move your thumb over here. Extra motions, I don't want. I scored a goal. I think I deserve a little bit of rub it in your face.
They should have it just flash 3 times and then just end the chat.
And the little chat disabled at the end there. Hey, you know what, Sonics, I think you need to get on this because I need to equip this one. I guarantee you it'll be the most used goal explosion in your game. But from toxicity over to positivity, Rocket League honestly is about community. Since the very beginning, that's what it's been about. And Mr. Woolery has a perfect example of why. There's a little something that we have in the game called Rule Number 1. And this is it right here. 2 cars headlocked together. What? No, why does this drive you nuts?
I want to score.
Well,
it's obviously the point.
Or you could just hug your opponents and have fun. This is what I love. And look at everyone joins in afterward. I think that's just what other games in esports and communities have something like that? I think it's so cool.
Looks like the human centipede.
A way to ruin it.
Anyway, tell us what's going on here. Explain this to me.
How about no? Because I don't know. What is this? This is something new. This is something fresh. Maybe he just went Zen mode.
Did he
started
just,
meditating.
Ram into the ball? Or
no, I don't think that would have worked.
Become the ball?
I think, to hit the ball, you must become the ball. I think what he did was stand where the ball spawned and it got trapped inside him. Honestly, I've never seen that before, but I want to go try it.
So let's take a look at some things that maybe you have seen before.
Okay.
Let's go down memory lane and take a look at Season 5 with the double tap.
When it first concluded back in the summer of 2018, a thrilling bracket reset cemented RLCS Season 5 as one of the best competitive seasons in Rocket League history. Team Dignitas Turbopulsa just earned his 3rd World Championship title, and yet that was somehow still not the most exciting thing to come out of the series. Season 5 was loaded with epic rivalries, stunning reversals, the meteoric rise of new faces, and the crushing defeat of old favorites. Old fans and new viewers alike. Before we get into the success stories, let's discuss a team who tragically underperformed, leading to some of the surprising upsets that made Season 5 so captivating. Team Vitality was riding high at the start of the tournament, its powerful roster having just secured a major win at the Gfinity Elite Series. Unfortunately, their momentum was snuffed out almost immediately after a crushing 0-3 loss against Cloud9, followed by a closer but still futile defeat versus Evil Geniuses, which knocked them out of the tournament. To add insult to injury, neither of the teams who bested them would advance further than losers quarterfinals, resulting in a disappointing end for the would-be favorites. Meanwhile, runner-up team NRG owed their excellent showing in part to a most unexpected newcomer, rookie player Justin Morales, who was only 15 years old at the time of his debut. Not content to simply play second fiddle to established teammates Garrett G and Fireburner, Justin showcased his versatility by effortlessly flexing between fast offensive and strong defensive play. In fact, it was his insane 0-second goal of the Grand Finals that almost brought NRG another game.
Kato tries to clear. It is almost there. It just has to hit the floor. Violet Panda puts it the long way, and it's almost there. Justin keeps it alive. Turbopulsa there. Bounces into the corner. NRG still around. Justin is there for the shot. Justin! This is Rocket League!
But even if it fell just short, the maneuver was proof of Justin's prodigal skill. Of course, you can't talk about a thrilling season without talking about the champions and stars of the show. Team Dignitas were considered one of the best teams in Europe, but their confidence began to slip early on, following a close game against Chiefs and a brutal loss to NRG. However, this served as a wake-up call for the future champs, and they hit the ground running in the lower bracket with decisive 3-0 wins against Evil Geniuses and Cloud9. The same 2 teams who had knocked presumed finalist Vitality out of the running. Their final roadblock before Grand Finals was Complexity, Season 4's finalists who were eager to take it all the way this time. Dignitas prevailed in a tough match, and went on to beat out NRG for the crown following a bracket reset and an incredibly tight 4-3 set. Their triumph was the centerpiece in the grand tapestry of RLCS Season 5, but was far from the only thing that made it such a special tournament.
Turbo Pulse with it up high, gets the flick, Turbo! 3-time world champion!
Oh my God, that goal from Justin.
In the moment, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The most iconic moment in Rocket League history. Hands down, all the perfect storylines leading up to that one goal, and the fact that the screen glitched out at that last second just added to the impact.
Season 5 is pretty iconic, no?
Yes.
Anyways, it's time for us to go. Check out some more content on our YouTube, of course, on Twitter, on WatchRLC.
Thank you guys for watching, and to send you out, here's your weekly Backfire.